Well, hey everybody. No intro today because I think we have to have a little bit, even though like we do like to keep it a little more lighthearted, laughing and joking a lot. I think today we might need to have a little bit more of a serious tone. It is just me, myself, it's Dash, no Dave. Honestly, I kind of was like, hey, I need to make this a little bit impromptu, just hop on, just have a conversation. So I would not be surprised if people aren't anticipating this because it's a Tuesday afternoon and normally we don't go live on Tuesdays. But uh, right now, Serie A is just not in a really good state. Just with a lot of things that have been going on in this international break. Right now on the tailspin of Italy really getting embarrassed by England 3-1 in the European qualifiers, which, hey, Comicus, puts Italy in a really awkward position, right? Especially when they have to play North Macedonia, and then they have to play Ukraine as well, with Ukraine vying for that second spot. And Ukraine technically have a 3-point lead over Italy right now with the qualifications, with the November qualifications, and Fagoli getting the really weird 7+5, so 7-month ban from footy, 5 month of like community service or whatever the hell that's considered. Uh, but I digress. It's a little bit of an interesting spill to say the least. But let's dive in. I'm just gonna touch up on this England versus Italy over here, and I'll share my screen for you guys. But not a good game for Italy today. Really, really bad. And normally we don't really cover that much international footy, but I think it's worth a conversation here. So England beating Italy 3-1 in Wembley Stadium today. Scamacca opens up the scoring in the 15th minute. Kane with the equalizer in the 32nd with a penalty. And then Rashford and Kane absolutely do the duty and drop Italy 3-1 here. Hey, Bones. But overall, just Italy absolutely just getting manhandled against England, just not performing quite well. You can obviously see Kane, man of the match. Frattesi with a goose egg, Barella with a goose egg, Cristante with a goose egg, Scalvini. I'm surprised Scalvini was rated as high as he was. He absolutely got torched by Kane on the third goal. Acerbi was piss poor. Di Lorenzo as well. El Shaarawy, I mean, really the only shining player was Berardi and Scamacca for Italy, but not good. Keane got a couple of minutes as far as Juventini go, but Keane's really the only Juventini on this roster, which is goes to show no Juventino players. Italy does poor. But looking at the stats, Italy with just 15 shots out of nowhere with really no big chances besides the one expected goals England had was way more clinical, way more decisive, and just look, I understand people can say, well, you can't use stats to justify the game. Holy hell, man. Like, this Italy team blows. Like, they are terrible. And I kind of want to recall back to everyone that was begging for Luciano Spalletti to come in and become the manager for the Italian national team. All of those people saying, oh, he's going to make us play beautiful attacking football, beautiful this, beautiful that. Guys, he only had one electric season with Napoli. That was it last season. And apparently that coincides with him salvaging this really poor Italy run in the Euro qualifiers. He doesn't have enough time to turn anything around. I'm not saying that Luciano Spalletti as Italy's coach is a flop. No, that would just be disingenuous on my part. But I don't understand just how certain Serie A fans are just kind of like, oh, we need this, we have to do this, this is the solution. Spalletti is the kind of coach that you would have brought on Italy after the European qualifiers, after the Euro in its entirety, when you want to start a new cycle. Not in the middle of a pinch. So this is one of those things where Italy needed Conte here. And I think they dropped the ball by not going after him. Whether or not Conte rejected it is a different story, but I never understood the hype or the love to get Spalletti and think that Spalletti's gonna, be the salvation, because I don't see Spalletti being able to get the best out of a lot of these players because he hasn't coached much of these players as well. You need someone that's able to really get results, really figure something out, and I thought Conte would have been a perfect fit. Hell, I wouldn't have mind having him just for the qualifiers and just the Euro, and that's it. Bon voyage. But a poor Italy is poor for Serie A. It really is. And the fact that Italy's on the verge of not qualifying for a European Championship is catastrophic. And for me, it's one of those things where it's like this further puts another nail in the coffin in Gravina's corner. Like, how can you be so incompetent of being an FIGC president where your national team, yeah, they won a Euro. We could call it the bubble Euro. I don't really care. Maybe it was just a hot streak that Mancini found. But how can you not qualify for 2 World Cups? And now you're on the verge of nail biting it for a European Championship. And with all due respect to North Macedonia and to Ukraine, Italy should walk all over these guys. But right now, instead of playing on the pitch, our young players have gambling addictions. Like, how is that? Like, how is that a thing? Like, you have Tonelli, you have Zaniolo, allegedly, you have Fagoli, who accepted a plea bargain, which, in my eyes, I don't see how this kid has a career at Juve after this. I mean, he might play for a season. I don't know. Hey, David. This is just really, really disappointing how Italy is right now at this point. And I did get a message from Dave, so Dave will hop on as well. But Dave's asking, "How about them Lions?" I'll talk about them at the end, where we can have a little bit of fun. Uh, but it's just it appalls me how, and allegedly Gravino's involved with this sports betting or this gambling issue that's going on in Italy right now. But how can you have a plethora of youngsters addicted to gambling, in a sense? Apparently, Tonali's crying and saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, I have a gambling addiction." Now Fagoli has signed off to be this PR guy against gambling. I mean, Fagoli essentially just gave up a good chunk of the Italians for doing this as well. So we don't even know who else is doing it until the list actually gets revealed, because it is not just Tonali, it is not just Zaniolo, and it's not just Fagoli. Because kid or no kid, guys, he did illegal betting. You broke the law. And I don't see how Italy is going to be able to really bounce back in the short term when you have, again, your youngsters not really focused in on what's in front of them. This European qualifiers has just been absolutely appalling. Like, we've had some great stories, like, for example, Albania dominating their group, Scotland dominating their group. We've had some great moments, and then we've had some absolutely atrocious moments like this with Italy. Maybe they get it together, they win out their last 2 games and they qualify. Sure, no problem. But it just ironic. The last Euro, Italy didn't drop a single game in the qualifying. In this one, they don't even know what they're doing at this point. You have Scalvini that plays great against the lower tier clubs, and then you call him up and you start him against England, which I thought was unheard of. I mean, Cristante is your main midfielder, which, again, I'm not a big fan of having Cristante being your main guy against England. Yeah, I understand playing for Teze. Obviously, Barella is your main staple, but it's El Shaarawy as your left winger? Is that seriously, like, the best option for Italy right now? Like, have I lost it, or has our talent taken a nosedive? That's just interesting to me. But I do digress, and I think I'll move it more now into the actual Juventus stuff here because this is a UA-based channel, and I don't really care too much about international football, to be honest with you, but I just had to comment on it because Alessandro Bastoni, an elite defender, amazing guy. Like, how many times I've told you this back then when he costed Italy's undefeated streak against Spain. The guy's a system player. But I don't know. I really don't know how the future of Italy is looking because, like, for example, on this list that's allegedly going around Twitter or X, Barella and Bastoni are both on it. So they might get in trouble as well. I don't know. It's just purely sad. It's really, we come from a generation. I come from a generation of watching gladiators as far as Italian players, like your Zambrottas, like your Maldinis, like your Nestas, like your Buffons, like your Del Pieros, like your Gattusos, all of those. And it's like we look at what we have in front of us right now, and it's just like, holy hell. Maybe it's me being older, but holy hell, these kids are immature. And they're in their mid-20s too, which baffles me more. But I don't know. I just kind of want to have my gotcha moment to all the Mom Spalletti is going to be the savior, because he's not. He wasn't. And I don't blame him. He wasn't supposed to be. He's a guy that you start a new cycle with. He is not a guy that you ask to bail me out of a serious situation here. But Italian social media, the influencers want beautiful, attractive football. It's not Italy's DNA. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, especially when your defense looked like it did today. Because holy hell, that was terrible. But all right, no more segues. Let's talk about Fagoli. So, good old Fagoli has accepted a plea bargain, and he cut his time in half because originally it was 36 months and they wanted to do it for 18. But because he snitched and turned his phone in, give me 1 second, guys. So he turned in his phone, gave out some lists of people that also participated in it, and agreed to become a spokesperson for anti-gambling, and has reduced his sentence down to 7 months from the field, 5 months of air quotes community service. And I think the big thing is he's allowed to train with the first team instead of receiving a full-blown ban. Look, I can say it from a human perspective, and I can say it from a business perspective. From a business perspective, you cut your losses. Sayonara, kid. You messed up big. From a human perspective, I understand where it's like, look, he's young, he's making stupid mistakes, he's getting into that money. You understand it. Maybe he just doesn't have a good support group. But at the end of the day, if you're looking at it from a business perspective and you're like, okay, this kid literally just got himself suspended because he couldn't follow the law. Is he the guy that we want to build around? Is he the guy that we want for the future? There's questions like that you can ask. However, I understand him being young, and it's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it puts us in a very serious situation now. We lost Pogba for doping, and now we're losing Fagoli for betting. And I think the irony of this situation is the second Pogba was suspected for doping. Everyone's like, terminate his contract, get rid of him, yada, yada, yada. And then it's like with the Fagoli news, everyone's kind of like, I don't know, it's not too bad. He bet on Serie A games, right? He bet in the league that he's playing with. For me, that's what frustrates me more, because for me, that's a big integrity thing. Because for all we know, because it's all hidden, right? It's not out there. How do we know that he hasn't bet on matches? He hasn't bet on Juve matches, but how do we know that he hasn't influenced matches because of his bets? Because apparently it's all a ring, right? Tonelli's part of this ring, Zaniolo's part of this ring, air quotes. If Fagoli just loved tennis, just bet on tennis matches. I don't understand why he needed to bet in Serie A. They're not going to release what Serie A matches he bet on unless they might. Who knows? Because usually when you accept a plea deal, it's kind of done and dusted. No more looking into it. But I'm just really disappointed in him because he was being prepped up by the Juve PR machine. He was being prepped up as, the next guy, the next dog in a sense. Because, he went through the academy, he went away, he came back, won his starting position in the midfield, and then he was there, right? This was supposed to be his season where he takes off and goes for it. And he does something like this. And look, I understand that gambling is a serious addiction. It is a serious issue that's going on. And I really think that Footy and Gravina himself needs to revoke that no gambling. He needs to bring back the no gambling advertisement because that's everywhere now in Serie A. It's on shirts, it's on billboards, it's on all of it. Look, I don't mind it for the everyday person to go out there and do sports betting. It's your money. Do what you want. Don't really care. My issue is when you have kids doing it in the league, kids that are playing. Because now Fagoli essentially threw a wrench in his career. Because when he comes back next year, it's not going to be all fun and dandy. Juve are going to buy midfielders. Either they'll buy them or they'll bring them in on the under 23. And just like how Fagoli won his way into the middle of the pitch, someone will do that. Whether it's Hans or some other one, Samardic or Thuram or any other midfielder that we purchase. They come in there, they're licking their chops because it's an opportunity. Fagoli has a very, very high uphill battle, especially if those midfielders come in and they ball out. So when you look at it from that perspective, and I posted a poll on Instagram where I was like, hey, what do you guys think? Sell them or not? It was actually 50-50, which I didn't expect it, right? So I put a poll on our Turn Giants Instagram page, I believe a day and a half ago, and I asked the question, with Fagoli potentially being in trouble, what are your thoughts? So I had 50%, roughly 50% say it's fine. He's a kid. They make mistakes. A year suspension is fine. And then the other ones wanted him fired, terminated, off rip. For me, look, I can give you the business perspective. I'll give you my perspective. My perspective, he's done with me personally. But again, it's business. They don't really give a shit about how I feel, right? However, when it's up to Juve, right? And I think Juve, Giuntoli said he's going to try to find a way to support him and try to get him back into it. But guys, missing a year is huge in your development, especially if you can't play any competitive matches. Yeah, he got given a lifeline that he can train with the first team, but that's tough. That is going to be really tough for him to overcome. There's going to be another thing as well. The mental aspect of it. When he sees replacements coming in, because they're going to come in, there is no way in hell Juve's not going to do anything about this. Currently, until January, you'll probably see more Hans. You'll probably see more players pop in from the under 23s. But in January, you best believe it's open season. Hey, buddy.
I'm going to have to disagree with you right away.
Okay.
You see it from a business perspective. I'll tell you why. Sorry, the camera isn't perfect just yet.
Are you on a mic?
You have to put your investment.
Dave, you're on a different mic. You're not on your.
Oh, you. Okay.
See, I saved Dave from sounding terrible.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna have to go out and fix things.
Okay. Well, that was fun. So, I think Dave and I will kind of hash out the ideas here, but for me, it's just they're gonna come in, they're gonna bring in stuff, and I'll wait for my ideas there. However, maybe it's what Gompatro says. Maybe it is Pablito Rossi Part 2, where he came back, scored a hattie against Brazil and won the Ballon d'Or. You never know. David says, I'm torn if this is a situation of snitches get stitches, or if he did good in snitching because he is our player and minimized the penalty. think that's one of the main reasons why he snitched, right? So he can get a reduced sentence. Try it. See if I can hear you good.
How do I sound?
You sound beautiful.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. Yeah. So just to go on that point, from a business perspective, you can also protect that investment if you deem it reasonable to do so. So to rehabilitate, it works on a couple levels, right? That yes, there is an investment you made in this case because he kind of came up through the ranks. There's not a massive investment, so I understand that argument's a bit weak. But as you were saying, he's supposed to be this next up and coming Italian homeboy, right? So that means something. That's shirt sales. That's new fans. There's this young kid coming through the ranks, right? So it's a generational type of thing for Italian fans. National team and Juventus. So there's still some sort of investment to be had there that you want to protect, but it's also an extension of what type of company that you are. And, are you the company that when your people need you the most, that you just say, sorry, it's business, or do you help them out? And not only is that good on a human level, it's also good on a business level because it's like, hey, I want to work there. I'm the best talent. I can work wherever I please. I'm going to choose that company.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate and say, when has there been a moment where Juve has done that, right? Because, like, for example, the second someone hasn't really shown, and it's the honest truth, right? It's a cruel world when you look at it from the business, the economics point, where it's like, we did kind of tell Del Piero, hey, you kind of ran your course, bon voyage, in a sense, right? We've done that before. So it's like, for example, and Del Piero was a legend. Like, Del Piero accomplished a hell of a lot of things where Fagoli, with all due respect, he just kind of broke on last season. So it's like,
sure.
I mean, and the same thing with Pogba, right? Where Pogba came in, became one of the greatest midfielders of his generation at Juve, came back, and then got busted for doping, and Juve's looking at his contract like, how the hell do we fire this guy?
That wasn't his first thing, though, with Pogba, and he has a much heavier contract that he hasn't delivered on, so they have lost a lot on that investment in that particular case. In terms of when have Juve done it, I agree. They probably haven't done it, at least visually, in these large cases, these examples that we like to pull out. But we're under new management. I mean, the J Museum was open on a Tuesday when I showed up. That was new. I was supposed to be locked up, and I showed up, and I got in. We're under new management. It could be something as simple as opening the J Museum on a Tuesday to giving the kid a second chance. I'm not in the boardroom. I don't get to make that decision. But what if?
Yeah, so for me, it's like the integrity thing, right? Because how do you know that he doesn't put you in a hole again, right? Because in a sense, to reduce his sentence, he ratted out a bunch of people. So how is
we have to be careful? Okay, I mean that's how they're going to report it.
They are. Well, I mean, we got to look at it from that perspective, right? Because, like, for example, if you're another Italian player, or if you're Tonelli, if you're someone else, where you're like, so this guy kind of threw us under the bus, so he gets off. So he's gonna have that rep.
Yes, but here's a situation. Again, I don't know because we're not there.
It's alleged, right? It's alleged. We're all just speculating here.
But we know the cell phone was looked at. He does have a lawyer. Maybe the lawyer was like, listen,
you're screwed.
You're screwed. They will find out. So you might as well just speak up because you're not a rat if they're going to find out either way. It's not like they're in a blood gang here, right? This is just sports betting.
You didn't know this? It is. It's all blood warfare.
Yeah, like it's different if you're in the Hells Angels or something, right? But like this is European football.
Well, I don't know that we know of, but there's like a lot. For me, it's a really weird situation. It's a jaded situation for me because it's like, for example, I want him to succeed and do well because, again, it's a younger player, or he can be, so and so and etc. But at the same time, for me, he bet on Serie A matches, and that kind of leaves me jaded personally. And again, my personal opinion does not really matter, right? Because it's a business, it's the sport, F whatever Dash is feeling, right? Because it's not fair to put emotions into an actual discussion in it. But he bet on Serie A matches, and how do we know, right, that because of that it didn't influence results or something? Obviously it's a plea deal, so none of it, it's all done, right? There's pretty much nothing that coincides with it. But how do we know that wasn't an issue. Like, for example, the players that he bet on or the situations that he bet on. This is alleged, right? Where a Roma player bet on getting a yellow card in the game, and he does it literally with the second to last kick of the match. It's alleged. We don't know if that's true or not, right? But I understand that there's an issue with sports betting right now in Italy, and I understand that. But at the same time, for me, it's hard for me to look at Fagoli the same way that I did prior to, because yeah, it's a mental issue. It's important, it should be dealt with accordingly. But now, as like a franchise player, when you're looking at it from a franchise perspective, can you trust him to be the franchise guy? Or is it at this point where it's like, we need to look at Hans, we need to look at Moretti now?
So the best leaders within their own company have usually been with the company. Like they've come through the ranks, but they've also fucked up. And it's from getting that second chance, proving yourself, and earning the trust of your superiors again, and working back up the ranks. I mean, that's how you know you're balling. Because the thing is, when you're at the top now, you can look back at the guys that are screwing up and say, "Hey, bud, I was there. I know what it's like, but you can still fix this."
I understand that sentiment right there. I think the big issue, and it's going to be a very uphill battle for him, because.
But that's what gives him that adversity. That's what gets him to that level, is working through it.
But he has to mentally get through it, right? Because, for example,
it's make or break.
It is, because, like, for example, in January, say that Thuram comes in, say that maybe Thuram or Semerdic or whoever, or
you're gonna have to say it better than that if he comes to Juve.
Semerdic, yeah, when he comes to Juve, but. I mean, Juve is looking at him. Vlahovic is like begging this dude to come in January. So, like, for example, when you start looking at all these new midfielders coming in, and if I'm Hans Nicolucci right now, I'm looking at this situation. I'm licking my chops.
Even Moretti is now like, I'm the starter.
Yeah.
It's me.
And I'm not letting that shit go. So, because and Illing as well, too. Because Juve have made it into this model where it's next guy up. Last season proved it, right? Next guy up. So now I'm worried that Fagoli has put himself in a, because losing 8 months, and even people saying Yildiz as well. You have 5 young guys that are looking at that Fagoli hole, and they are going like they want it. It sucks to look at it from that perspective, but it is, right? Survival of the fittest. You either eat or be eaten in that sense, because these guys are young. They're trying to put their footprint on their career.
And that's exactly why I would give Fagoli a second chance, because he isn't getting the easy road back. He has to fight it back. And it's that fight that will either make him or break him.
If he's able to fight and win it back, I am 100% on board with it. But
yeah, for me, I am too.
For me, mentally, I think that I haven't seen him where he's, again, mentally that dog where he can handle it, right? And this is going to be a true test for him, because if he doesn't find his feet, I wouldn't be surprised in the summer to see them ship him off to Fiorentina or something.
Absolutely, if that's what's required. But again, he's 21. I mean, how many of us screwed up in some way, within that age group, and we look back, it's like, wow, that was dumb. But I mean, you either grow with it, which I think we all have, because we're here sitting down having a good time on our computers, or you're living under a bridge because you fucked up, right? So, I mean, again, it's a perfect business situation, because now you're creating that internal healthy competition again that looked like it was starting to solidify, but now you've kind of opened it back up again, right? So that's the silver lining from our perspective, is being able to get that fight for that position back, because it was pretty much Fagoli, Moretti, and that was going to be it.
Yeah.
But now it's Moretti, who I don't think has really locked that position in, obviously, because he was swapping up for Fagoli, and now you do have Hans and Yildiz, if he can grow. I think he's more of a Cam, more so than a Mezzala, but I mean, sure, throw him in the mix.
Yeah, you have McKennie as well.
Yeah, McKennie, absolutely. Well. It's exciting.
It is. I saw your comments I saw the comments from Pipo and Gumpachero. You guys can't sell Fagoli now. His value is tanked.
Well, no, you could.
His value is tanked. I understand the argument, but like for example, say that his ban is over next summer, the best you can do is loan him because you would be selling him for peanuts.
And
Like,
that's another reason why you'd want to
You can't.
rehabilitate him to actually get value back in him.
Yeah, that's the only. In
Zaniolo did it.
Zaniolo did it.
He went to Turkey, but I mean,
Well, we might just need to call Cement and see if we can loan them Fagoli because any player with a psychological issue just needs to get sent to Galatasaray at this point. But
maybe the Turks will sort him out. It's like, listen,
Yeah,
this
who
man
knows?
works here.
you'll come here.
or
We
they-
fix you.
I mean, what he'll probably learn in Turkey is how to get away with it.
Yeah, how to do better. Because in all honesty, everyone else that was doing it got away with it besides Fagoli. Like he just got caught, and then he's like, "Well, if I go down, I'm taking you all with me."
And what I found interesting, again, we don't know the whole story, but Tonelli and Zaniolo was claiming, "Oh, we didn't know it was an illegal betting site."
Fagoli put us on it. That's one of the arguments.
I thought Tonelli put Fagoli onto it.
We don't know. It's hearsay at this point.
Okay. In any case, one has ignorance being an excuse for the law because it never has, right? So why in this case is that an argument, or is that just another newspaper headline? I'm not sure, but I want to kind of call that one out because if that's true, I mean I don't know. For me, that doesn't fly. Okay, you can claim, and that might have been part of the plea bargain. Is that we honestly didn't know, but at the same time, it's like
They still bet on Serie A matches. That's like how can you? That's one of those things, right? How can you put ignorance on something like, for example, that to me irritates the hell out of me because Tonali was in Serie A last season. So regardless, right? How can you? I don't give a shit about. Oh, I didn't know it was illegal. You made a bet in a league that you play it. Like in honesty, if it was American sports, he would have had a lifetime ban.
Yeah.
But-
I mean, he might have. I can see the NFL just being like, you're
yeah.
out.
The NFL suspended a dude 6 games because he bet on tennis. I'm dead serious. And the thing is, the guy was a dumbass because he bet using the team's Wi-Fi in the parking lot of the training facility. NFL got wind of it. They're like, yeah, you're banned.
Never use public Wi-Fi, guys. Come on.
Yeah, and then like another, it's. And my thing is, I have an issue with betting in the league that you're playing in. Granted, I have an issue with betting in any top leagues in UEFA. Like, for example, if Fagoli's like, hey, let me bet on the MLS, let me bet on Messi on the over-under. Fuck it, right? I don't care. That's fine. But when you're betting Udinese, Empoli, or something like that, because like I said, and I made this argument in our Discord, and I made this argument on a video, famous people know famous people. They have apps. They have social media apps that we don't have access to that only they can get. There is legitimately a celebrity Tinder just for celebrities that we probably won't even know what the hell it's called unless we make it big. Or like they know each other. Trust me. And with how bad it is, with it being potentially De Laurentiis that was involved as well, allegedly, as well as Gravina being involved allegedly. Holy hell.
Gravina, though, I mean, he's got friends in one
Very
position higher place than him.
Yeah, so holy hell. If this actually does blow up and becomes a lot bigger, this is worse than anything I've ever seen in the history of sports. If the president of a league was just busted for betting on his league. Like, that would be nuts.
Oh, man. We'll see. Well, Cheffrin still got away with his allegations of not actually meeting his criteria to be in the position.
Yeah, and then Gompetro says they'll excuse Tonelli and Zaniolo because they're not Juve players. So this is an allegedness that I've heard, right? So this kind of goes in with David's comment next year. So Milan might have to. So if it gets proven, which I doubt it, because I'm pretty sure Milan burned all of the evidence if they had any. Because they were saying there was like a rumor saying Milan sold Tonelli because they knew he was going to get hit with the ban, so they were like, "Hey, let's cash out on him now." That was, that was.
They can prove that.
That is one of the rumors, right? That is a rumor. It is allegedness. It's not actual fact. If that was the case, Milan would have to refund Newcastle all of their money that they received from Tonelli. If that is,
Oh my god, and they spent it already.
yeah.
Oh boy.
So that is if that was actually confirmed. I doubt it that it is, but that is how crazy that shit is if that
Oh,
actually
man.
becomes a thing.
You know what? This is one of those I just want to see the world burn situations. It's like, sure, let's just all of it at once.
Well,
Let's
shit.
see what happens.
If that were
Also-
to happen, I would beg us to buy Pulisic because that guy is absolutely on fire right now.
Yeah, I mean, we called it. People
did.
made fun of us because we put him on our FIFA team last year.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, Pulisic can't stay healthy. Did you guys see that golazo he had against Germany? That was fucking nuts. Top corner, dribbled through 3 German defenders. I don't care what you say about Germany. Pulisic literally dribbled top corner, top bins. That guy is absolutely insane on the wing.
Yeah.
Like, holy hell. Like, if Chiesa's going to be made of glass, hell, I'd start Pulisic at this point because we don't even know if Chiesa's going to play against Milan. Same thing with Dusan. Dusan was in Madrid a couple days ago. Chicken legs.
His back still hurts. Or something. I don't know.
You know what's funny?
Kamaboko wants to watch the world burn as well. So we'll watch it together.
You know what was funny was I saw the video of Dusan in Madrid and everyone's like commenting on there. Bro's got some scrawny ass legs.
They would like a burn as well. So here's a little story. As I've alluded to before, I think I've worked outside the country, right? I mean, aviation, you go places, right? So, I mean, we were in this not so first world country. And a building decided to just catch on fire one day at like 3 a.m. So, of course, the fire truck show. And no, man, what a shit show. They didn't know what they were doing. It was hilarious. So we literally just sat down, grabbed a cup of tea because it's like 3 a.m, sat on the outdoor couch and just watched the world burn. And I was like, there's nothing else we can do. The firefighters are here, but they don't know what the fuck's up. So you watch it burn.
It's pretty much the state of Italian football, right? You just have IFTV grabbing just like water bottles and trying to just throw it on this inferno. And then we're all just kind of sitting there and it's just like, well, you guys kind of caused this.
Yeah. So it's just, you just got to watch it.
You just got to. I think Serie A needs a huge ass reset, man. Because I mentioned this before you hopped in. Like everybody that was hyping up Spalletti, saying that this guy is the absolute savior of the Italian national team, and how Napoli did Italy injustice by not releasing him from his contract. Those barbarians. And then, okay, look what drew against Macedonia, you won against Ukraine, and you just got spanked by England.
You beat Malta, so yeah. I mean, you
Malta,
can beat the
low. Okay, great. But
yeah,
no,
but I mean, it counts.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, great, fantastic. You know who would have probably got you more points? It starts with a C and rhymes with cunt. Cunte.
Boy. Yeah, he would have actually. I don't know.
I don't understand how like. Italy doesn't have a foundation. They don't have a base. So you can't branch off and experiment new shit when you don't have something that you don't have.
Could we just blame it on the fact that we didn't have Tonelli and Zaniolo?
Yeah, we didn't have Tonelli, Zaniolo, and Chiesa. That's it. Game over. Done. That's the reason why. They didn't start Gatti for technical reasons. But I'm going to lose my mind if he gets busted for gambling too.
Oh, man.
I told him to leave the bricklayers gambling chat. He never listened. It wouldn't surprise me, man, because the trades workers in Europe, those guys are like notorious for sports betting. And with Gatti being a bricklayer, wouldn't surprise me there.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're all criminals out there. Okay, so I don't watch a lot of TV, movies, whatever. But when I was home for my Canadian Thanksgiving, my dad put on this Italian film. It was called Made by Eri. Eri being like nickname for Enrico. It was a Neapolitan movie, so subtitles or listen to it in Italian, of course. And it was just the guys ripping off mixtapes, like when mixtapes were first a thing, but like Italy didn't get the imports from America, so he would just record them and sell them. So it's just basically, just Italians being criminals and getting by. That's the theme. Is basically what it is, right? That's how it works down there. Where is Gatti from? Is he from the South?
I think he is.
Oh, we gotta look this up. I hope he's from the South, so this makes a lot of sense. Gatti, I should put in his first name, otherwise I am going to get cats.
Frankie says Gatti can come to Wisconsin. I'll be his rehab. Pause.
Rivoli, he's like almost from France. Well, shit.
Wow.
Okay, well that does not work with my theory at all. That's right, because he's from the Piedmont, still the Piedmont area. Yeah, right in the mountains, the hills. Fuck. Well then,
I saw this one meme. It says Kane has a new puppy and it's named Bastoni. I died laughing.
I have new puppies.
You do.
I had 8 new puppies.
Frankie says no pause. Whoa.
No pause. I mean, I really hope it's not him. But they said that it was non-Italians. That was one of the rumors I saw, anyways. That the other names from Juve were non-Italians. I mean, who is it? I immediately thought Vlahovic. Is it the Americans? I don't know.
You know how funny that would be if Vlahovic got busted for sports betting? Then that would literally just make me make a video
Just
saying
cherry.
we should have got
Just-
Lukaku.
Just the cherry.
Like that would have just been the cherry if it was do something I got busted for it. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. If he gets
Man,
busted,
if it-
I'm about to sit there and just be like, yo, I'm gonna fly to Turin and go like take Dusan, send him to Chelsea, and just take Lukaku at that point.
So what was the report I saw today? It was he may still be a doubt for Milan. There's still a bit of a pain in his back.
Oh, what a soft ass!
Oh my
Holy
god!
hell.
Take some Advil and fucking
Dude,
start running.
Take some ibuprofen, grow a pair.
I mean,
Like-
take some Bayer Leverkusens.
Dude.
That's
yeah, for
Advil, isn't
real.
it? The Bayer Leverkusen.
Aspirin.
Yeah, aspirin. Yeah, the Bayers.
Like, holy hell, man. Like, I don't understand this. How, and I hate dunking on our players because, you know, they're Juventino and etc. But how can you defend this guy?
It's hard. And Chiesa as well, like, there's no problems, but he's got these phantom pains. And I know that's a thing. You can have phantom pains. But I mean, at some point, you just have to say, fuck it. Like, what? It's not going to get better. You just have to. I feel it's a mental thing. You just have to play. You just have to be like, it's fine. It's not going to break again. And if it does, well, your career's probably over anyways. And if you don't play, your career's over. So just fucking play.
No, that's country folk would say, rub some dirt on it. You ain't hurt, rub some dirt on it.
This is like, at what point is just like, you're professional athletes, you are gonna hurt for the rest of your life. I mean, did they not get that memo? I mean, I hurt for the rest of my life.
It's funny. I see meme on the Twitter. The Twitter says, Italy getting cooked by doing a high line. Only Allegri can save them now.
Oh man.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
Mourinho's gonna get fired. Why don't we hire him? I know he's
Yeah, why don't we put
Portuguese, but
Mourinho?
fuck it.
Put Mourinho as the Italian national team. We need defense, man. Italy's known for defensive counterattacks, not this
God.
stupid.
But yeah,
attack.
Bastoni and Scalvini. I mean, Scalvini's lighting it up, mind you, on my
You mean-
on my
you mean-
FC24. But
Yeah, that. I was gonna say, you mean Astoni because he's complete
but
ass.
Astoni, yeah.
Ass.
He's not good. Could we agree that he's not good?
He's not good.
But like the
He's always
community,
been-
like the footballing, like the Italian, the Ccho community, could we agree that Bastoni is not the next great Italian defender?
He never was.
He
IFTV made him
was
be better than
at
what he
some
was.
point, yes.
No, they pumped that PR for him, and then like you saw him in the Nations League semifinals, absolutely garbage against Spain. It didn't help that Bonucci was next to him, but you know, still.
That was bad. Yeah, I remember that now.
Frankie says Gatti would have slammed Kane. Hell, I think Gatti would have decked him in the face. And then, like, you know, Kane,
Oh, yeah.
Kane can't understand, like, speak English that well, so Kane would have been like, oh, yeah, he got me right in the schnoz. And,
Listen, Gatti may have been cooked, and he probably would have, but he would not have let that gone unpunished.
No, Gatti would have just bet the over-under for 3 goals and scored an own goal. Allegedly.
We still have a Doosan believer.
I can't, man. I'm sorry. I can't.
It's hard. It's
It's
hard
so
when he
hard.
has. I mean, maybe there's more, and I know
such a-
that there's always stuff that we don't know, but I do know that they chose a job in which they will be perpetually hurt, and they're getting paid millions of dollars a year to do it. I'm getting paid tens of $1,000s a year to be perpetually hurt, so they can shut the fuck up and play some football.
I swear, man, these youngsters, dude. I swear. Like, you know, when I was younger, sprained my ankle, shit. Do I got some extra tube socks? Let me tie up my ankle, give me a stable brace, hop back in there. Like,
I remember, and slow pitch was the worst because they have those big cushy pads of bases. So, and I would always trip over them because I'm just like head down and run and just slide into everything. I was a bit aggressive, so I roll my ankle a lot. And there was just one rule when you did it. Don't take the shoe off. It gets worse if you take the shoe off.
if you
don't,
loosen.
you can play the rest of the damn game if you don't take the shoe off.
yeah,
Ice it afterwards.
yeah.
Fuck, play the game.
Rub some dirt on it. Do something. Rub some dirt on it. I've never seen a striker have back issues or a guy like he doesn't have an aerial game, so I've never seen him jump and fall on his back. So apparently he has back soreness. Like, this guy is just glass. Like, at this point, hell shit, just start Keane. Start Keane, give him consistent minutes.
No, I don't think. Okay, so he's saying current Italian defenders aren't good, but they become Maldini when playing against Juve. I think they're just defending against Vlahovic. Oh, I burned your homeboy again.
Whole Italian team are frauds. They sing the national anthem like lions, but play like puppies. That's because Buffon is like orchestrating them to sing. That's why. David says NFL players play every single freaking weekend with broken bones, torn muscles, and ligaments in a way more dangerous sport.
Their average lifespan is also 3 years.
Yeah, that's
So-
why we call it. That's why we call it the not for long league.
Yeah, like I love a 20-year career player.
Yeah.
The 3-year career players, I mean, who cares?
Well, who knows what kind of shit they pump in them during halftime? Like,
It's
like if you're
yeah.
Pat Mahomes, you sprain your ankle. Oh, they're giving you like some horse tranquilizer.
The needle. I can only
Anti-inflammatory.
imagine the needle that goes straight into the ACL.
Yeah, well, like what is it? Travis Kelce, when he like sprained his knee in practice, they like put a needle in him just to drain the fluid in his knee. Like they do some witchcraft in the NFL to get their players going. Like,
Yeah.
like how the hell is Aaron Rodgers coming back with a torn Achilles in less than what, 5 months?
They've made
Like-
movies about how fucked up the NFL is about
Oh, yeah.
that stuff.
Oh yeah. But you know, kind of going back to the Ducey boy, but Ducey boy got to sort his shit out, man. Because that to me, what kind of $85 million striker sits there and says, "I got lower back pain"? Like, are players like specifically for checking him or back checking him or something? Like, does this dude have a hockey career that we don't know of? Like, Dave, you played hockey. Do you have a sore back from hockey? Unless you keep getting just pounded in the back for some reason.
See, I was the defender, so I was the guy.
Oh, you were the
Hitting
one
people
doing
in
the
the
pounding.
back.
Ah,
Yeah,
you were the pounder.
So the front of my body was more so the sore part. No, I have this bad back from other stupid things. That's I mean part genetics. My family's
Tequila, and weed. No.
tequila. No, I'm more. I'm a Sailor Jerry guy. It's a good New Jersey rum.
I see.
Yeah. Spiced that.
Patro says Lord Burnham needs to come back. Bernadeschi. He is the one.
Yeah, so I mean those are rumors. We alluded to it a bit last week. Maybe. But then there's not really anything coming from the Toronto side. Because I do get a lot of the TFC stuff as well in my newsfeed. And the latest was with John Herdman, Insigne, and Bernadeschi, they can rebuild this team. So I don't think the rumor is really that heavy.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Again, it's probably one of those things the scout was like, hey, go check it on Bernadeschi. So
go see what Burn is doing.
Yeah.
Is he still doing plastic
Toronto.
surgery?
It seems, I don't know. I'm just hoping that's how he looks like when he shaves his chest. I don't know if he did anything else. Or that was a wax job. Wow, was that a wax job? It was shiny.
That's so funny. Jeff is here. Jeff says Rogers, I ain't coming back till next season. Ain't coming back. I thought he said he ain't coming back till next season. Congrats on my Lions. They were way better. Hell yeah, we are. But yet, for some reason, the Dolphins are still ranked higher than us. Same thing with the Niners. I told y'all, Brock Purdy's a fucking sham. Compatro says, yeah, Screener always elbowed Doosan in the back. I remember the Derby dudes.
Remember when Chiellini always elbowed Lukaku in the back and like every other person?
Yeah. David says, oh, this one's a good one. David says, Doosan's back pain may be caused because he carries his ego so much.
Oh, man.
And then Bone says his back hurts from carrying the truth about his gambling addiction.
Oh, boy. You guys are bad.
Oh, my God. That's brutal. That's brutal.
Yeah, they're all just in on the banter. It's low-hanging fruit today.
It really is, isn't it?
Oh.
But,
I thought there was something in the Alex Jones channel, just the Pro Clubs channel.
no, yeah, that's probably Colin saying, hey, guys, we're playing tonight. We love you, buddy.
Yeah, we haven't had... they got a bit into a conspiracy here on the podcast. Have you listened to it yet with Fronthead and Piago?
Parts of it, you want to break it? We gotta like fill people in because nobody's watched it. Like the view count on that pod is terrible.
Yeah, guys, watch it.
Like, watch it. It's Tiago. I said Tiago.
Tiago. Yeah,
Tiago, man. It's Habibi and Fiago. Like they do a nice like one-on-one conversation with each other. Like
and honestly, man, like I actually have to check Fiago out because I've always known of him. I didn't know he had a YouTube or anything, so that's why I like those specific types of podcasts once in a while because it's like, oh, this guy, yeah, I'm gonna go check him out now. So it's good. It's good for that. If you know Fiago, then
he's a Juventino. He's a big 500,000 subscribers.
Yeah, 520.
Yes, he is very big guy. Very big guy.
What a
good guy. Awesome guy.
Yep.
Yeah, we wish we could have been there, but we worked during the day when they were filming.
Tuesday at 11 a.m.
It was yesterday at 11 a.m.
Yesterday, yeah, days.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess when you're not seeing us, if we're not on a video, don't be distraught. I know you guys love us. Pump my ego up even more, but do give it a watch. Because the numbers are obnoxiously low.
He's pleading. Just watch the damn podcast.
Just click the damn video. I don't care if the watch time is low. Just click the damn video. We need the ad revenue.
Oh my god! I was trying to play it. I was trying to play it on my phone this morning, and then it just like wasn't working, connecting to my car, and I was just like, and I got pissed off, and then I just turned on the podcast, anyways. So I'm guilty. I didn't watch the YouTube, so I'm gonna have to let it play later on in the background.
Well, I mean, we didn't even do that well on Spotify with it. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just people that are just like, oh, Dave and Dash aren't on it. Psych, we're not watching this.
Well,
guys,
just
do it.
Ccho is life.
Yeah.
I like Ccho. I like IFTV. Look, I'm wearing a Ccho hat. No, I'm gonna.
It's just because Jeff said for it's Ccho. And I mean, his podcast, I think he's recording right now. He said he was going to do it right after the game. I'm really excited to hear what Sam.
I want to see him drop a nuke on that. That's going to be hilarious. I could just imagine Sam coming in. It's like, hey, what do you get this Albania? Or I was thinking of Albania because of the comment. What do you get this Italian national team? We have Bastoni and you have Scalvini who can't even defend to save their lives.
Yeah, I mean, I'm amped for it. I can't wait. It's going to be good. So that's the Bordello, guys. If you don't know Sam yet, we need to get him back on.
We need to just have like a shit show.
Just for the shits of it. Absolutely. What would be good, though? If you guys have suggestions for a specific topic to bring Sam on for and just let him loose on something.
I know. I kind of want to see Sam just like roast something. We'll probably get in trouble for it, but fuck it. I don't really care.
And Jeff coming in asking what the hell happened to Mom Spalletti.
Mom Spalletti.
Mm-hmm. Mom Spalletti
says, hey, Dash, are you Albanian Italian? Apparently there's a lot of... I am a 100% pure blood Albanian, unfortunately. I hate to break it to you, but... obviously with Albanian and Italians, we kind of have a tie because we're right across a little stream that we call the Adriatic. So
we've controlled you guys for a couple different instances. Yeah.
Fortunately, short people like controlling Albania for some reason. I don't know why. Mussolini was the last guy to do that, but short Italians in Albania, I don't know at this point. But gave Albania so much paranoia that they shut their borders after that. But for 60 years, almost 60 years. We become North Korea of Europe.
It's true. They just kind of like re-existed in the 90s again when it was like, oh, Yugoslavia.
No, that's further south.
Wasn't it all part?
No,
Albania wasn't part of it.
No, we were.
That's when like that whole region lit up again, though.
The whole region lit up again pretty much in '91, and then you had like
Yeah.
the Balkan Wars, whatever that happened in the '90s. No, we were our own thing. Albania was just so
Oh,
isolated.
you're still your own thing. Okay.
I mean, we've been like.
I mean, that's an easy one to screw up. That's
It's extreme. Oh yeah, no, for sure. Because like the guy that was like, I'll give you guys a history lesson, but like the dictator.
Slobodan, or are you talking about your
my
Albanian guy? I just like saying Slobodan.
Slobodan. But it was pretty much like the second. It was like I want to say end of World War II, like 46, 47. Turned the country communist and then locked everything down. Like no news about the country went out, no videos unless they had approval. Like I'm telling you, like he was the European King Jong-un, like ill, not because he wasn't the kid, but like he exiled his family because he's like, I don't want you guys to challenge me for power or whatever. Like you know, he was a smart dude, but really fucked up at the same time. But you know, everyone had a certain thing. Just how it was, just how the country was run in a sense. And then, you know, communism fell in 91 universally, and then the borders opened, and then everyone's like, hey, we're going to Italy now because this place sucks in a sense. But Mr. Melon de Agua, do you also have Mexican heritage? Curiosity because of my expressions. Cheers from Mexico. Muchas gracias, güey. No, no Mexicano. I am not, unfortunately. I grew up. So funny thing about me, guys, is I grew up in a very Latino community in the suburbs of Detroit. So it wasn't Southwest Detroit, but a lot of the friends I grew up playing footy with were from that region. So we have this region called Mexican Village. And I grew up with a lot of folks from there. So, you know, I picked up my no mames, my Latino slang. And when I play soccer, the second I hear someone, I can't believe I said soccer, but when I play, Con yo juego fútbol, yo hablo español. So like when I play, I speak Spanish just because it's easier for me to mesh with the players that I'm playing with, right? So I'll say,
if you watch the dash cam, you can see this going on.
You can hear me yell no mames when someone has a really bad pass. And then Gumpacho says, super interesting. I never knew those things. And Jeff says, yeah, this is actually kind of true. So Hoxha was so bad that Stalin and then the guy after Stalin, I think Khrushchev.
Khrushchev. Yeah, sorry.
Was like, damn, Daddy, chill. And then Albania was like, yeah, no, you guys can go F off. Like, so Albania was so isolated that they didn't allow Russia or China in their borders as well. So like what they did was, so Albania would stockpiled on a shit ton of Soviet AK-47s. They put them in military stockpiles, and when, you know, because what they would do, and this is kind of the interesting about the USSR, right? They sent what they called communist evaluators. So they would evaluate how good your communism was, which is crazy because it's like
it does. I don't think it's crazy. It seems like something that a totalitarian regime would do.
Look and see how good your Soviet Russia is to my Soviet Russia. We evaluate, make it quite simple, eh? And then pretty much so Hoxha was like, okay, yeah, thanks for your suggestions. Fuck off. Like that was his response. And then
is that how the Germans say? I don't even know how to say that. Khrushchev in German?
You gotta say it with like the crazy expression. You gotta be like
yeah, I mean that I think is beyond my knowledge of linguistics.
And it's the same thing with Mao Zedong's Imperial China, right? Where like Albania was like, all right, cool, we'll import a shit ton of stuff because they wouldn't import anything from the West. Everything like the Yugo, like they still have Yugos in Albania, like they have those as relics. So if anyone knows what a Yugo is, then you would G for that. But
is that the car?
It is the communist car in a sense. Nice. But they imported all those. They took all these like weapons. If you watch War Dogs on Netflix, it's like a Jonah Hill parody movie. Like it's based off a real story. But like if you watch it, because essentially it's set in Albania, I believe in the 90s, right when communism fell, because Albania had such a huge stockpile of weapons from the Cold War. Because like essentially what Albania did was they bought like the MiGs, ammunition, and all that other stuff. and it's untraceable at the point. So like a bunch of that, hence why you get a bunch of like air quotes bad guys, like every like European movie where there's a bad guy, it has some kind of Albanian ties to it, because right after communism, like from 91 to like 2001 or 2, like it was legitimately the Wild West. Like,
I have
holy
skills and I know how to use them.
you want AK-47 with Chinese ammo, or you want it with Russian ammo? I give you both. Chinese untraceable. You don't know that it is actually Chinese ammo. They make it think it is Russian. But it was nuts. Like, I know it's a comedy and it's kind of funny, but watch War Dogs. Perfect explanation on the whole regime and how it went down.
I don't know if I saw that one.
This
Is it like a Lord of Wars, but a newer one? Lord of War, like the Nick Cage gun running one?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, Nico, GTA 4. You ever play that?
Yeah, I played GTA 4.
Nico.
It kinda.
Yeah, that's it. That has to be an Albanian.
No, I don't think
No?
he is. I think he's
Or
Bosnian.
no,
Croatian or Bosnian.
Bosnian. Yeah, I was going to say Croatian, but a bit further up.
Yeah, so it's a bit further off. But
He's a
like,
Northern Peninsula kind of guy.
Northern Peninsula. Yeah, to be honest with you guys, like I would spend some time, if you're a history buff, look into the Balkans, man. The Balkans got some interesting history. I mean, it starts with the supposed Illyria, where the original master race was the Aryans and all that other stuff, because the Illyrians were the ones that could beat the Romans. Whole bunch of plethora of history. And the issue is, though, because of how many different regimes, governments, religious followings and whatnot, essentially just kind of there's a lot of missing fragmented history, or like different origins and different things like that. So if you're a history buff, totally recommend you look into the Balkan histories. Like for example, the Albanian language doesn't have any like roots or correlations with any other language in the world. It's its own thing.
Jeff says like, nah, Dash, I didn't watch War Hogs. He calls.
I lived with my parents. 97 was like legitimately the Wild West. There was no government. There was no law enforcement. It was just pretty much militias that controlled areas. That was nuts. That was really
I
nuts.
do remember that, because Canada took in a bunch of refugees at that time.
Yeah, and then you get into the Serbia-Kosovo war after, and the whole NATO airstrikes in Serbia. It's lots of history. Like the 90s was a crazy decade.
It was in a lot of ways.
I feel you had to turn off your computer so the world didn't end.
Oh man, yeah. There was getting into the tech of the 90s, man. People don't know how good they have it these days, and this is like, oh, back in my day. But no, like honestly, tech was so fucking janky. It barely ever worked properly. Right? Like a printer, what was the point? It never fucking printed.
Ink was like $100.
And when the internet first became a thing, like, okay, like dial up, that's one thing, but networking, try to get more than one computer to the internet, it was just like.
You remember using the AOL CDs? Like when you would get mailed in AOL, you have 100 free minutes in the internet.
Yeah. Sleeves of CDs with demos on them.
I know, that's pretty much how my dad would do stuff. Just take a bunch of CDs, and like I remember like when internet used to be so freaking slow, where you had to like wait for that blue screen, like that blue bar on the bottom to load for you to get to a web page. Holy hell, man. Like you youngsters have no idea what y'all have.
Random from David. Fun thing, I'm driving home with the train, and the smell of weed is all over the train station.
Damn, you Germans got some good ass weed over there.
I mean, ask for some.
Das ist so good weed.
Yeah, I mean, it's eventually just going to be legal everywhere, I think.
Pretty much. And then Jeff says, I was 5 years old, and I remember seeing a tank in the city centers of Southeast Albania and witnessed two people going at each other with certain items that I don't want to say so we don't get flagged on YouTube.
Well, because it's about I mean, you already did in your funny accent, you already said that, so
it is more like a joke. So Bone says you had to smack it around a bit.
You know what's great though with liberals not liking certain tools? They don't actually know what the stuff means. So if you say Automatica Kalashnikov, then you probably won't get flagged for anything. The model 1947.
You just way too specific. Way too specific. Vincenzo says the AOL trials were classic.
Yeah. Oh man, those were the days.
Don't buy
Okay, and here's the
Toasters.
problem: is that we're starting to get some of the '90s stuff, but the film industry, well, for one, isn't doing anything because they're not paying their writers. But when they are doing stuff, it's all very '80s right now, and they're starting to move back into the '90s. You got to give everything at least like a 25-year standoff before you start covering that decade. So we're starting to get all the '90s nostalgia stuff now. So if you never lived through the '90s, I mean, it was an interesting and colorful time because it was all neon. It was weird, the colors. I mean, they went from a decade of just brown and gray. So I guess they went hard the other way in the '90s and went just like yellow and pink and blue. And then we went to the 2000s, and then Apple came around and made everything white.
Remember the Apple computers, the Apple all-in-one PCs before all-in-one PCs were a thing? Like you had
the
like the
Mac,
big
the
tube,
iMac.
the iMac, the tube, yeah, where it had like
the OG
CD and all that
iMac.
shit.
Yeah,
Like they had different colors.
yeah.
Or like remember the N64? How like the skin like had like a see-through like pink or purple or green or whatever.
Oh, if you
like,
you can get the see-through stuff.
like yeah, everybody lost their mind for that.
That's right, because the N64 was like a midnight blue or like a purple or something. Like nothing in the '90s was just like a neutral color. Everything had something to it.
No, like back then.
Or the
you get,
2000,
like,
yeah. Or sorry,
no, go ahead.
no, I was just thinking a lot of shit was gray and boring as well.
Yeah, like the N64 was gray, the Super Nintendo was gray, the PlayStation 1 was gray.
No, the N64 wasn't gray. It was like that dark.
What?
It was,
like a darker
carbon.
gray.
Yeah, it was like
Carbon.
carbon. Yeah.
Still kind of a pigmented gray, right?
Yes. It was the
Car-
early '90s. Yeah, the early '90s was
were
colorful.
gray. You know, the N64 switched it up by giving you like a bunch of different color cartridges. Like Donkey Kong's was yellow.
The yellow one, yes.
Pokemon Stadium, like the second one had like gold and silver.
I had a
like,
red
those.
one too.
Yeah, there was
Oh,
that
man,
one.
we're nerding out hard.
WWF No Mercy, which I think is the best N64.
Non-64.
Non-64. Man, I miss gaming back then. Gompacho says he loves tools. David says, no, we don't. We just have Dutch stuff mostly, but it'll be legalized. Yeah, you guys could just walk across the border. Jeff is saying, hey, guys, what do you think about Fagoli's 7-month ban? He's lucky it's not worse. We covered
he's
it.
an Apple fanboy.
We covered it. Yeah, we covered it more in depth earlier, Jeff. But long story short, he's lucky it's not more, but he's got a very, very big uphill battle he has to do.
Yeah,
like really, really big.
And Jeff, get on Game Pass. You can play it.
Yeah, you can play it on Game Pass.
GoldenEye.
Download
Love it.
that sucker.
Classic. That's
playing
probably
it
my
last
favorite
night.
game of all time.
It was. It is a good game.
All-time number one.
David says, I'm honest, by the way. I have everything Apple, iPhone, iPad, AirPods. The only thing I
That's
didn't
too bad.
ever trust them with is my laptop, and I will always keep it that way. I'm not bad with that. Because
you still have an iPad?
I mean, I have it for work. But
Well, that's still a
different
thing?
to
People
me.
have iPads?
Yeah, iPad Pro. Right. Well, I mean, I use it because I have to take reports, data, schematics, and stuff like that when I'm out in the field. So I need it, but yeah,
I thought you just used your phone.
I could, but I'd rather just use that because I have the pen and I can draw schematics and shit. Like, can you imagine me going like this?
Oh, the iPad. I was thinking
Pad.
I thought I was reading iPod.
No,
I was reading
iPad.
iPod. I know what a fucking
iPad.
iPad is. Jesus
Holy
Christ.
shit, Dave. Your boomer is showing, as Bones would say it. No.
I just read pod. Sorry, I was like freaking out. Like, what are you doing with an iPod?
Don't use your phone. Don't use your phone.
You know what it is? Oh, because it was iPad and AirPods.
Put together.
I put them together.
Put them together. So like it was actually funny that David is talking about having an iPhone because like I was like, I'm bored and I was scrolling through my Instagram or my shorts somewhere, social media shorts or whatever the hell. I saw like this thing that apparently this is this thing. Maybe I'm old and I don't know, but like there's this girl. She's like, if I see that his text messages are green, I instantly stop talking to him. I'm like,
Oh man, yeah,
that's a thing.
That's
a thing.
It's a thing.
Why are people weird?
The LA Lakers. I can't remember which year and which player it was, but he was the only guy on the team that had an Android. And so on iMessage, he was the only guy that came up green, so they shamed him into buying an iPhone. Now, okay, you make millions of dollars a year.
Why?
Who cares?
Why
but
is that a thing?
The common, it's just like, oh my god, why? Like an iPhone for most people is fucking jewelry. They do not use, like, do you need an $1,800 phone to scroll through Twitter? No, you can use the $5 thing from Costco. Like, you don't need that phone to do what you do with the phone. You bought it because it's jewelry. Nothing else. It's so you can go to your girlfriend's and show off its fancy little glass case, or now the titanium case that's somehow weaker than the glass one. You know, you can show that off and be like, look at what I spent $1,800 on because this is jewelry and I have a small vagina.
I thought you were about to say, look at me and my big old schlong.
But yes, I mean, there... Whatever. It's just that's what gets me about the iPhone thing, is that's what a lot of them are. They're just too dumb to know any different. It's because they went into a store or they saw some commercial on television.
There goes half of our following, Dave.
And it's just like,
our Apple following.
that's my parents, right? They go into Rogers, which is the big carrier here, and they're like, you're old, you don't know anything. Here's the most expensive phone, buy it.
That's so
like,
Canadian.
Okay.
That's so Canadian that a retailer is called Rogers. That is so Canadian.
Ted Rogers is the guy's name. What do you want me to say?
I know, but I'm just saying that's such a Canadian thing. It's like, hey, we're going to get myself one of these new iPhones. All right, we'll head down to Rogers and we'll just go there and we'll look at what they got. Right?
It's a big company. Rogers owns like the Blue Jays and like all the Toronto sports.
It's like Rogers Field or Rogers Arena or some shit like that.
Yeah.
For some wasn't it? I'm trying to remember. Rogers is like with the almost like a bow tie, right? As their logo. Because I remember that when I was watching CNBC for Red Wings games, because that's when you guys used to cover.
Yeah, it's that red circle thing.
Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking. I'm like, I remember seeing Rogers before. I'm like, the hell.
Yeah, it's the biggest Rogers and Bell, and then there's Telus is kind of the third one. But I mean, that's essentially, it doesn't matter. You go into the store. I mean, you can go into T-Mobile or Vodafone or wherever, right? And most people aren't nerds. Most people aren't like me that will look at all the reviews and want to know every spec and actually understand every spec. I understand I'm a computer nerd and I know these things. Most people, they just want what's popular. They just want what they see in the commercial. And that's what Apple does the best, is market the shit out of their product and then get away with charging you too much for it.
Sounds like Juve with the J.
It is. I mean, it is. And just like Juve, they're producing a subpar product for the money.
Should we tease it? Should we tease the video that we're gonna do?
We're gonna do a video on the logo.
Yeah, we're doing a video where we actually are getting a journalist that wrote an article about logo transformations for clubs. So yeah, he's gonna be on a video and we're gonna actually talk to him about it because he covered the J logo, because I know that was one of the big topics for discussion in the Discord. So we'll get his take on it. He probably knows some inside information on why we did it, but that's a little bit of a teaser. Gaetano is here, and it's been a while since we've seen Gaetano. He says, hey, how are you guys doing? We're good. You know what? Because I know a couple of you came in late, so we'll briefly touch on Fagoli, right? So I'm pissed. I'm really pissed at him. Part of me says cut him. The other part of me says he's a kid. So I think the one thing, because Dave and I kind of argued a little bit, not really argued, but debated at the beginning. Dave kind of came in and was like, no, you're dumb. I'm going to tell you why. No, I'm just kidding.
More or less. I
mean, we had a discussion on like the importance of Fagoli and certain things about it. I still look, I don't like it because, again, he bet on Serie A games. I'm not a big fan of it. For me, it's an integrity thing. But the common ground that Dave and I both found is that despite the differences that we had in opinion, the one thing is going to be a fact of matter. Fagoli has an uphill battle. Yes, he's lucky he gets to train with the full team, the first team. However, training isn't game time, and you're going to be missing a year's worth of game time, as well as, for example, the amount of minutes he would have gotten as kind of an undisputed starter, as you will, because the main thing is Juve is going to get a midfielder in January. That is 100% given. Is it our good friend from Udine, or is it Thuram? We don't know. Or maybe Hans or et cetera will step up. But you have 4 to 5 players that are vying for that midfield position. And now with Fagoli being out for 8 months, unless Fagoli somehow has like a really impressive underground training arc, he's going to regress for not having a season's worth of game time. You guys saw Chiesa coming back from injury. It took him a while to come back. Yeah, he's not injured, but at the same time, you're not playing at that same level of intensity that you would in a game. You are not getting the game reps that you need. So Fagoli really screwed his career up. And Dave and I kind of also thought and talked about where it's like he might end up getting loaned next summer if certain players perform. Like he is not coming back with a starting position or with open arms in a sense. So it is going to be a very long trek. He can work hard, grit his teeth, and make it, and we'll be happy. Or he crumbles under the pressure because the pressure's on. He's got to claw his way back now.
And Jeff Ccho isn't back. I mean, we just had another scandal. One scandal at a time, guys.
Yeah, one controversial issue at a time. Look, I think Serie A needs new marketing, and I also think anyone that said Spalletti was going to be the savior for the Italian national team should never be a football commentator ever again. A jab.
Ccho is life. I like Ccho. I like.
Oh my god.
Sorry, look, this is my rant. Hey, when people were sitting there calling Napoli a bunch of goons for not releasing Spalletti from his contract, it's no. You needed someone that can get you into the Euro. You don't right now. Yes, you had good spurts of play with Spalletti, but at the same time, Spalletti is a guy that you need to give him a cycle to start. You don't put him in the middle of a cycle.
And you need to give him like a Kim Min-jae defender.
Yeah.
That's going to hold up the back line single-handedly. Because Bastoni
Is terrible.
and Scalvini are not it.
And that's Acerbi as well.
Or, I mean, I already forgot about him.
Because England saw what they were doing and they said, well, this is easy. They're playing a high line. Shit. We can do this because this is what we do in the Premier League every freaking week. Because, Italy decided, hey, let's not defend.
You know what I'm disappointed about? England. I mean, a lot disappoints me about England, but that they booed Henderson when he captained on Friday because he went to Saudi.
Muppets.
I'm like, I'm sorry. Kettle, black, whatever nonsense. I mean,
your pot.
Yeah, that one. Jesus Christ. That's what they're so pretentious about that shit. Fucking drives me nuts. David defending his use of phone for work. I mean, yeah, there's uses. I just get mad at the lemmings that buy it for jewelry and then put everyone else down that didn't waste their money on jewelry phones. So anyways, I'm just happy Germany protected the name of football against the U.S.
So I'm going to
You just didn't want it to be called soccer.
I'm going to ask Gaetano a question. So in the Premier League, many players like Tone were disqualified for betting. These things don't just happen in Italy. No, they don't. But my question to you is, did you want Fagoli's ban to be longer or did you want it to be shorter? That is what my question is for him.
7 months is not that bad.
It was a plea bargain for 7 months where Tony went through the entire court system and they gave him 8.
Yeah, for that. Sorry, we're going back to that. When?
Because it happened. Tony did it last season.
Was it last season? Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to read up on that again to comment. Otherwise,
because I think the original ban for Fagoli was going to be 36 months, but again, I think the scope is different because I think Fagoli did illegal gambling, and they said it was going to be like 36x months or something like that. But since he pretty much snitched on everybody, they're like, yeah, 7's fine.
We don't have all the information from either side at this point, right? So we have to be a little careful to just jump to the conclusion.
No,
but at the I don't know. We kind of went over it, you know what?
Yeah,
I
we
think.
did. Just
it needs to be enforced, but at the same time, you have to let him have a second chance. Because I think otherwise he's a good kid. What if it's a legit gambling problem? Maybe they expose it. Maybe this is the best thing that could have happened to him was at a young age have this stopped.
Yeah, it could be that, or it could be one of those things where they're using it where it's like, hey, say you have an addiction, so you can reduce. It's like one.
And
of
there's that. That's definitely a thing.
where you plead craziness in a sense. But,
Oh man, yeah.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know. I don't care. I just read what it is and look.
But I mean, it's a thing though. Like any place where there's a union where they can't just like straight out fire you. If you have like a drinking, drug, gambling addiction, if you're about to get caught, you can just be like, I have a problem. I need to see help, and they can't fire you.
Yeah, and look, personally, again, my personal opinion, I would have cut him. That's my personal opinion, but I respect the direction that the club goes because again, they're business people. They know it better than me. I'm on the outside looking in, but yeah, look, that's one of those things. Gaetano says it is a problem of financial education in the NBA. Players follow the course on how to use their money, even when they finish playing. In Italy, players are not educated and they don't study anything.
Was that started in the NBA or the NFL?
No, I think it's the NFL more because NBA players have a course on how to not get trapped by Instagram models. Which is actually funny.
Was that legit?
Well, yeah, because like all these NBA players start hooking up with porn stars the second they get their first contract, and the NBA is like, hey, you probably shouldn't want to do that.
Oh man. I mean, give an 18-year-old a few $1 million and see what happens.
Oh no, nerds.
Yeah, you're whatever. Thanks for showing up, nerd. Low key, that hits too close to home. Which part?
Yes.
Gambling?
All of it.
Now I'm confused.
Cocaine and hookers. That's what Gopatro was saying.
Cocaine, hookers. I mean, yeah, like what would... Oh, man. Do we have to intervene?
Nope.
It's like,
let him pull a Fagoli. Let him learn.
What's this? Is this another like NFL? Oh, IG models. Yeah, he likes to follow the IG models.
Yeah, they actually do that. Like it's an actual course. Like the NBA, when you're getting drafted, they're just kind of like, hey, you got to watch out for traps. They're called traps.
What's traps have a? Okay, we won't get into that.
Pretty much for people that don't know what that means, that's you have a certain very attractive individual that courts you before you get your big contract, and then when you get your big contract, they fornicate and reproduce, so they lock you for 18 years.
No, there's a different type of trap.
Who, Brittany Renner?
It's when the female has the male part and you don't know when they trap you.
Oh, that one. That one. No. Insta trap. I don't know. Maybe that's what it's called, Insta trap or something like that.
And what American Albanian reference is this? Be my dog PJ.
No, PJ Tucker. He's the guy that got trapped by Brittany Renner.
Oh, okay. See,
yeah, PJ Washington, I think. Yeah.
You guys like the soap opera that we all call the Feejacy? Yeah, I mean, where have you been? We've been making fun of it all night.
I don't know. I've been doing it for an hour and 20 minutes. Phone says it's a trap. Don't pep, it's a trap.
Which, the second one or the first one?
Yes.
Yeah, that's time.
Mm-hmm. That's that one alleyway. Like if you go in there, they start groping you, and you find, oh my god.
I mean, one in Thailand.
There's the alleyway.
I mean, the country's called Thailand. You just don't know what you get up that thigh.
Touche. Well played, Dave. Well played.
Oh man. Okay, you stopped talking about footy a long time ago.
We did, and nobody's complaining about it, which makes it even funnier.
Yeah, you guys don't even like football.
At this point, everyone's just kind of like, Dash and Dave, help me escape from my problems. Talk about some of the most random shit possible. We're about to be the most famous like Juve-based content creator channel because we talk about things that never talk about Juve, unless it's a watch along or a post game show. Like
I think about this from time to time, right? Because Fiago was on today and listened to him, and it's like how he lives and breathes football, and that's his life. And I think that's so cool, and that you can dedicate like your complete knowledge base and funnel it into something productive and creative like that, right? And I'm not like that. I'll watch a couple games on the weekend here and there, you know. I mean, I'm not even as lucky as you were. It's just it's on the TV all the time, right? Like I don't have that same commitment overall to football. But then at the same time, think about it, I was like, but I actually have life experiences. Like you know,
Well, yeah,
well, I like different sports. There's things that you can connect and make into a bigger package.
I think that's one of the things where a lot of Juve content creators get it wrong, right? Where they're all kind of like just the Juve, only the Juve, nothing else, right? And it's just like you have no personality, right? So it's like
Well, that becomes your personality. It's
it
a very
becomes your
linear,
personality.
like two-dimensional personality.
You just
yeah.
become a 2D character in a sense. You just become an industry plant. No, I'm just kidding. But the thing is, right, we look at it and it's like we can sit here and we can talk about the NFL. We can sit here, we can talk about MLB. We can talk about what we're talking about right now. We can do all that stuff because, to be honest with you, like a lot of people aren't listening to us live right now. They might listen to us on their way home and they'd rather just sit there and be like, okay, cool. I heard the news about Fagoli. I heard about Italy sucking. And then it's like, okay, great. Now Dash and Dave are making me laugh about stupid shit in the background because
we hope we are.
we hope we are. At least I tell myself that I do.
Well,
Just to make myself go
you're
to sleep.
telling the world right now that that's what you're doing.
Laugh, you sons of bitches. Laugh. But, you know, it's more so where it's like, yeah, we cover footy, but I feel like we're more of an entertainment channel at this point where we're just kind of here to talk shit and entertain you guys. Because, look, man, Juve's not in a great place. We've got scandals left and right. Our players aren't really doing that well. And, you know, what's the point of us coming in here live streaming and saying, Juve suck, we're a joke, blah, 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 for an hour and 45 minutes, where at the end of the day, Dave and I can make you feel better leaving than when you came in, right? I mean, that to me is more of a W than.
I mean, that sounds like a rub and tug.
It is a rub and tug. We call it the dash, the good old dash tug here, the Gratian Wallet tug.
The new segment title, the rub and tug.
The dash rub.
Oh man, your rub, I'm tug.
Well, and I think it also helps us connect to the viewers, right? Where it's like, okay, for, you know, let's say KB, Dave, and Gaetano, and all of them are like, okay, it's not just two heads in Juve talking about shit. Like they actually, oh shit, I can relate to these guys. Because I always hate content creators that kind of give off that God complex, right?
Oh, the God complex.
It's like when they're sitting there and they're like, oh, I am, you know, the one above all source about everything. Look at how amazing I am. Look how awesome I am because I'm this and this. And it's like you can't relate to them anymore. And then when they fuck up, everyone's making exposed videos on these guys, right?
Never
like,
forget. Never forget, you're still just in front of a webcam in your dank ass basement.
Exactly. Because I think that's one of the things where a lot of content creators always just lose their sense of genuinity or just being genuine in general, is because like they go from like the guy that's with a microphone and a camera just talking, right? And then they make this image, this persona, and they adopt this persona. And then it's like they have to keep it for the camera, but in reality, they're not really that person. And then the second someone sees them in public doing what they're not supposed to be doing, you have like 100 videos on this person. Oh, exposed. Like, for example, even with my dash cam videos, like I showed instances of me making dumb plays, me sucking or being an idiot. And then it's like, because I always tell people, I'm like, I'm going to show it because I don't want people to think I'm like this god off the wall player, because if I do play in a tournament or something like that, everyone's going to sit there and watch, oh, Dash is exposed. Dash isn't really that good of a player. Like it's a genuine aspect to it, right?
And now we know that he is, and there's no hiding behind that.
Exactly. Gaetano says, do you guys like the return of Conte? For Italy, yes. For Juve, I don't see how it makes sense, right?
Well, okay, and then he said, this is true, he said in an interview that leaving Juventus was a mistake. Again, more coach speak. He says a lot of coach speak because he's a coach. But
Conte be twerking for Juve right now, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, at this moment in time, it doesn't make sense. Again, I think Allegri, with another scandal coming through, is the best person to steady the ship. Is he going to get that ship to full sail and play beautiful attacking football?
I'll say
no.
This. I'll say this. If Conte was on the team, he probably would have kicked Fagoli off it.
Oh, yeah, he would have been gone.
He would have been gone. So, like, and I'm pretty sure Gaetano's more on this boat where if Conte's there and he kicks off Fagoli, he wouldn't care. But, like, it's interesting, right? The people that make the argument that Fagoli is a kid and you should be forgiven, but they also want Conte as a coach. Like, Conte takes no shit. Like, if you eat ketchup, Conte will bench you.
As you fucking should have eaten that trash when you're a professional footballer. It's nothing but sugar.
Because, like, Guardiola will bench players for eating ketchup. Like, he is.
Oh, does he? I have a
does.
lot of respect for him now.
Guardiola
especially
will
'cause
not.
it's ketchup.
Guardiola and Conte will not let their players eat ketchup.
I love it. That
It is insane.
That's amazing. Both of them, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
You
They're
look
both
it
my
up.
favorite coaches.
Guardiola dunks on ketchup. He hates it.
It's bad. It's so bad. You only like it because it's 60% sugar, so you're just addicted to the sugar. You don't like ketchup. That's all it is. You're addicted.
Oh my god. All right, do you guys have any last questions for us to answer before we get really off the walls? Good thing I labeled this as let's have a discussion instead of like actual things. Because this was a podcast episode at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
You should just take this and slap it on Spotify next week and say, boom, 2:30.
Maybe. Who knows how our next one with our guest is gonna turn out?
Yeah, that might be podcast worthy material. I'm not gonna lie.
Oscar flying in late in
We
here.
have
How's
not
it
seen
going?
that. Yo, guys. And he corrects it. Keep it, guys.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, this isn't a Juve guy that we're bringing on.
No.
He's a Birmingham fan, so take that for what it is. Which I think is actually kind of cool. Because he's not like, oh, I'm a Real Madrid or a Manchester City. I was like, fucking Birmingham. It's like, fuck, right on. Yeah, he's a journalist, and he knows some things. So we're gonna get his perspective as more of like an outsider, neutral, somebody that studies and writes about the stuff, because he talked. It was an article about just the logos, football logos in general. So because it is such a hot topic, I feel like bringing an outsider in, because it's that whole thing. It's like, oh, I'm not fucking listening to Dave. Fuck Dave, right? Because you're comfortable. It's like we're family now, right? So you can tell me to go fuck myself.
Dave.
But you know what I'm saying, though, right?
It's you know what's funny? It's like half the time I'll have Farhad on a thing and people like message me, who the hell is that guy? I'm like, he's the guy. He actually runs this stuff. Oh,
What's the sock thing?
you have a sock thing?
No. Oh, was it? Oh, there was a while ago that you did you have socks on and you didn't have socks on.
I always wear socks.
Oh,
About
man.
walking around the house
That's a
in
deep
socks.
cut. Yeah, I can't remember exactly. You got to remind us. I vaguely remember that.
KB, that article is in the Discord. I think Dave, or did you send it
No,
to me? Or
I didn't know. No, I only sent it to you. No, I'm holding on until things are confirmed. I'm declared on that one.
Oh, okay. So you guys, we'll probably release it on Discord before we release it anywhere else. So join the Discord.
Yeah. Discord always knows first.
Discord always knows first.
So he wants me to hit the trifecta. So Apple products, ketchup, and apparently something about socks.
Socks in the house.
It's definitely not the trifecta if I'm not remembering what number 3 is here.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then just says, Forza Calcio. I love Calcio.
It's like, send me a link to the man's article. Okay, yeah, I'll try to remember. I'll pull it up. It's sure I can do it.
He's gonna message you on Discord saying, "Give me the damn link."
Yeah, I'm just giving it to him because he asked so nicely.
Just because he's so nice.
Give me the fucking link already.
Oh man, you know we've done a terrible job of promoting the website and as well as the YouTube memberships because.
Are we supposed to do that?
Yeah, we should. I mean,
okay, let's do it.
Even though we have no perks yet right now, but we're working on it. So
the perk is I'll send you the links.
Dave will send you. Yeah, Dave will send you the link. No, but
yeah,
just,
cool.
Yeah,
cool story.
Just remember, folks, we do have monetization, subscriptions, and all that fun jazz. So sign up on that one. You can sign up. Dave and I will work on. We also have to get Farhad on bench with some of the member perks that we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
So remember to do that.
Jeff got a $2 Make a
Buck
holla.
99.
LJJ catched up with Pasta. Nice. Yeah, just finished work, but's been listening. Beauty. Yeah. No, I love that. That's what I'm a big podcast guy as well. I love just like
So
listening,
let
absorbing
me
what I do,
let me ask you guys, the listeners, like, do you guys, because we haven't been doing this as frequently as we used to when we kicked off last year, right? Where we were live streaming like 3 or 4 times a week. Outside of like the post call-in shows and the other jazz, do you guys want us to, in the match week mixdowns, do you guys want us to dedicate like a live where we can talk about Juve and just talk about other stuff in general?
the bullshit podcast.
Yeah, like this right now, like the let's just have a conversation podcast. Like, do you guys want us to do this? Like, because we can figure out a way schedule-wise to make this happen, because it'll just be us talking for like an hour 30, hour 40 about shit. Like, we'll obviously talk any UV related stuff first, but then we'll kind of just go, kind of go a little bit off the cuff like today.
Oh, David's dropping memberships. Right on, thank you. And Chef's been a member for a while. Yeah, I mean, I know some of you guys have been members for more than a month, but like we fucked up.
We did. We need to do better.
We need to file the paperwork. It took us a while to do the paperwork. That's all.
Because the paperwork sucks ass.
Oh man. So I think with most other channels, they start off with just like the one person and it's like a single entity. But because we have like multiple people, YouTube's smart. And it's hilarious because my wife's YouTube channel, she keeps on playing just her videos to get the watch hours up and stuff. And they keep on, like, they'll give her the hours, but then a few weeks later, they'll be like, no, we checked the IP on that and take it back. I'm like, YouTube knows. Like, YouTube is smart. They're the leaders in artificial intelligence. Just like, do you think a VPN would work? I'm like, Google knows everything. You can't hide from
Google is love. Google is love. Google is life.
Yeah, so we tried to set it up just as like a personal thing, and they were like, nah, that ain't gonna fly.
We ain't gonna do it. Bones has gifted 1 Turn Giants membership to somebody. So somebody, I don't know who got it.
What?
Probably Dave got it, but I don't know.
Say, you know what, this background, what do you call it? Chat box doesn't always work. I'll go right onto YouTube.
Dave, I think I'm losing you signal-wise. You okay, buddy?
I'm okay. Am I not
watching,
here?
I'm watching you on the stream too, and you're like choppy.
Really?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Because I'm like moving around. Like, I have myself on the phone. See, I'm looking at myself here, and then it's like, Dave, you're kind of like fuzzy. Guys in the chat, is Dave fuzzy or is he not fuzzy? I think he's got that.
I have to allow gifts. Okay, I have to activate it. That's why. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. This is new. Thanks for letting us do new things. Okay, so gift is activated.
Yeah,
Someone should get something,
right?
Oscar got it. Yes. There you go.
So Beat Palasso says you're super fuzzy, Dave. Yeah, you're breaking up. Bone says you're becoming a robot. I think you're good now. You were like bad earlier.
Okay, yeah, maybe I was just
So David says forgot to reactivate that. Oscar wants 1 early EU time. David says, if I make it through 6 semesters of sports management, I'll make positions for all of you sweeties. Aww.
That's cool, sports management. Nice.
Yeah. So if he's a footy manager, you know who to hire for.
Nice. I hope it's like 5th division German league.
No, I want him to be the sports director of Bayern, and he's going to hire me and you to be their social media influencers on their Twitch channel.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Bayern Munich Twitch channel where we talk about Lewandowski and Schlafenlong.
Yeah, it'll just be people yelling at us in German now and just yelling at us in German for not speaking German on an English podcast.
Yeah, just like emphasize, I need to emphasize all my conjugates, be like, schlagen, and blah.
Imagine. Oh boy.
Oscar says, let's go. KB says, your quality is trash, but you're good now. LJJ says, where do you guys usually watch UV games at home?
You clearly haven't caught the watch-alongs because we watch it with you guys.
Right here. Right here. This is where we watch them. And then David says, "Let's fire Delit together, boys."
Oh man.
And then Bone says, "Can we just have a Julia Grosso worship stream for Dave? Please do not encourage him."
Can you guys start reaching out to her on Instagram and just be like, hey, this guy, like, just make something up. Like, you don't want to play the cancer card so much. You want to, I don't know.
Are you trying to make a wish, Julia Grosso?
Yeah, make a wish, Julie Grosso. Yeah.
Why?
But something that isn't scuzzy. Like, we can't use cancer.
How does it? Why?
Oh man, no, we do not need to be that weird about it, but we can be weird for KB. You got a tap and a half.
Times.
I thought, yeah, you know what? I double tapped. It's fine.
Whatever. That's
Okay.
what she said. Oscar says, "David, hire me for the medical center, and I promise I'll do a better job than you-based physiotherapist." How good are you with happy endings?
Ooh. Nice Danish. I bet those are nice, strong hands.
No,
you
very
know?
nice, strong hands. You have a nice hands with a good oil. Yes, very good. I need you to really get inside the tissue, make it burst at the end. Very good. Oscar says he has very good hands. Is your hands tiny, so it makes it bigger?
Small but strong, I think, is the key. Small, strong, but soft. That's the trifecta.
KB says, "Oh baby," and then Oscar says, "Double the price. Double it or pass to a friend. Double it and pass it to a friend."
How's this for a slogan? Has this been done? Double the
This
price,
is-
double the penetration.
Double the price, double the tag. That is what we do. The tag is the great equalizer.
Oh boy. He loves your German accent because you sound like it's oh man, what's that movie?
You know, I got it from
Inglorious
my-
Bastards.
Yeah,
You're an Inglorious Bastards version of German.
Yeah, it's funny because I watched it. And that's where I get it for my bits. Because when I was in college, I used to do like open mic comedy. I don't do it anymore.
You
but
say this.
I say this, but it's one of those many talents where I can just sit there and improv just some random shit and make people laugh. But I'm like, no, in no ways am I a professional comic. Like, for example, Sam would run laps around me. Like,
And he's not a professional comic.
yeah, Sam is like absolutely like a beast at it. Where me, I've been out of practice. Like, it was like my freshman, sophomore year of college where I would just go into random comedy clubs because I thought I could pick up chicks by being a comedian.
Why don't you fly into Montreal and you and Sam?
Oh, I couldn't. I'm telling you, I couldn't keep up with him. Because like
And
my jokes back then were super edgy. Imagine me now; they just sit there and be like, "Oh, look at this fucking wanker."
That's why you do it before Sam, so that you kind of warm him
Make
up.
it shitty so I warm Sam
You
up,
warm
right?
him up.
Just I could just.
You
just
think
like Sam's
this
like-
guy's edgy? Wait till
Yeah.
this fucker over here shows
Sam's
up.
like, "All right, guys, I'm gonna send you my lobotomized partner over here. It's Dash, right? He's gonna come over here. He's gonna say some stupid shit, and then by the time he gets done and tomatoed off the stage, I'm gonna come in. And I'm gonna blow your brains out."
When's this Germany? 8 p.m. tonight. Jesus, that is a late one.
That is a very late one.
It's just a friendly.
Yeah, but don't say that it's just a friendly because Frankie's going to see Ccho play against the Germans.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm not, I mean, I haven't really even said hi to my wife yet today, so. I mean,
Dave's like, I have one of those.
eventually.
Eventually, I'll get there.
Yeah, eventually I'll get there. I mean, yeah, it was one of those days, and then, like, I had just put my phone down, and Dash is like, I'm going live in 20 minutes, and then I come
Dave's
back
like,
half an hour
sure, I'll
later.
go on there too. Why not?
Yeah, I was like, oh, fuck, you're gonna have a party without me.
Fuck, man. Like, he's like, where's the strippers at?
I was naked when I saw the message. I was about to go in the shower. Yeah.
Oh, man. That's not every image. That's not an image a guy wants. Yeah, I was in the shower grabbing my meat, and you texted me, and boom.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
But New York, none of us live in New York.
None of us live in New
No.
York. I'm in Michigan. He is in somewhere in Ontario.
Canada. I mean, there's no point even saying.
He's
where
a
I'm
Canuck.
from.
He's in the This one over here, he's out in the wilderness, just random spots with the elk and the moose over there, just the occasional coyote or the fox and some other stuff like that.
I mean,
But,
no bullshit. So, I mean, if you guys watched last week's fucking, I'm just dropping F-bombs now for no reason, but last week's podcast, I popped in and out. I had just, I mean, it's on
Fox
the
was
internet.
eating
I'm
his
not,
cocks.
let's just say there was a fox. So we'll leave it at that. I'm not
Fox
going to
on,
get into
Fox
it.
on Cox. That's pretty much it.
There's fox that were attacking chickens. So, yeah.
Jeff is saying, he's like, Jeff says he has an essay to write, but all I can say is thanks ChatGPT. My little brother tried using, was like talking about that, and like his programming class literally got busted for using the AI for ChatGPT for coding. ChatGPT is an amazing thing if you understand the concept. Pretty much, right? Like, that's the one thing that I've seen in college, because part of my job, I've been working at a university for a project, and like some of the stuff I've seen, it's hilarious. Like, kids nowadays have no fucking clue how to properly cheat. Like they literally
you had to
just
really try back in the day, didn't you?
Yeah, back then you had to, because you had to understand the concept when you were cheating. Right?
So the gray calculator, especially math, right? The calculator was gray, but the pencil's gray, so you can actually like, and it has the slide thing that goes underneath it, right?
Yep.
So you can just like, but like from far you can't see it. You just have to be like,
remember using the the ink, just writing on your hand. But like,
yeah.
even now,
You're
it's just
just
like,
your sleeve is just
yeah,
answers.
like people nowadays, when it comes to cheating, have no idea what the hell they're doing. Like, they just mindlessly copy, or it's like, for example, I have a computer engineering background, so I got some coding in me. And it's like, I'm looking at, my little brother shows me the solution that ChatGPT gave all these dumbasses, and I'm like sitting there, I'm like, okay, great. What kind of code did the teacher teach you? And he like shows me like the code in their like lecture notes. And I'm like, well, that's why she knows you guys are teaching, or you're cheating, because like, what the fuck? Like, you guys, ChatGPT gave you an advanced algorithm to solve a simple ass question. And I guarantee you, like, if you ask the kids, like if you ask people, hey, why does this function work in this regard? Like, if you're going to cheat, at least understand the concepts and stuff like that. Like, there's times where I was lazy to write code and I would punch it in a generator and it would give it to me. But at the end of the day, I could say, this is what this function connects to do this, and this. And then when they accuse you of cheating, you're like, no, he knows. I can't. He can't. And then boom, 200 IQ play.
Can't fix stupid though.
Can't.
So,
You can't.
you know,
David is saying, how are your guys' kneecaps? Mine are good. The Buccaneers lost some kneecaps, as well as the Panthers, as well as some other teams. I'm excited. I think the Lions might actually win the NFC. That's how good they're playing right now. Jared Goff, and I said this a year and a half ago, I said, this motherfucker's coming in with a chip on his shoulder, and he's going to be a beast. Everyone laughed at me saying Jared Goff is washed. He's terrible. All I'm going to say is, who's your king now, suckers? Jared Goff to the moon, my guys. Because he is the one and only best QB in the NFC, stated by Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith. So, Brock Purdy, you're washed, and you're a fraud. That's all I'm going to say. Suck it, Niners. And who else? LJJ says they can't fake it. You're right. But why, though? I don't know.
Are we talking about the cheaters on that one?
Yeah. Jeff is
they
saying
just suck. They just
they
suck.
just suck. They suck. It's mindless cheating, man.
Listen, if they got away with cheating, they wouldn't be in the news and being exposed for cheating.
Exactly. Just do better. Jeff saying, I'm shocked that Albania's going hard as fuck this year. Albania's got a good crop, man. Their B team just manhandled Bulgaria today 2-0. This Albanian team is going to be very, very, very interesting to see what Albania does in the Euros. If they beat Moldova, they clinch first place in the group, and I'm just really excited to see what they do in the Euros, man. This young core of Albanians are freaking awesome. So hopefully they do well. Hopefully they maintain this form going into Germany, but I'm excited, man. This is the first time I've seen Albania like dominant in a group. Like, they've scored 11 goals and only conceded 3 in Euro qualifying. Like, that is like your Germany, Italy, England levels of performance in your group. And they had Poland, they had the Czechs, and they have a very good Moldova team. So that group is actually very competitive, and Albania's dominated that entire group. So they've only lost 1, they've drawn 1. Lost to Poland in Warsaw, which was because Tech decided to be on steroids that game. And they should have won against the Czechs in Prague, but they settled for a 1-1 draw. So watch out for Albania, guys. They're something else, man. They're doing something else. Especially they're running that 4-2-3-1. So Really, really good team.
Oh, you simp over that though. The
I do.
4-2-3-1.
I do. And then David is saying, I'm afraid my Eagles, that you guys will shred our secondary if we even make it that far. I think right now, and this might be my biased opinion, I think it's going to be the Lions and Niners, but I think the Lions, because of their schedule, I think the Lions are going to clinch the 1 seed. If the Lions have home field advantage against the Niners, I think the Lions win that game. Because like we saw it, Brock Purdy cannot do shit without Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey. Like just absolute garbage.
So KB is listening to us on the shitter.
Well, that's a shitty situation. And then LJJ said they look very solid. The Lions, yes, they do. It's impressive, man. It's impressive what Dan Campbell's done with the Lions. Like I said it before on a stream on a podcast, Dan Campbell is the blend of Allegri and Conte in a sense.
You also have to watch out. Sorry, I just noticed. I mean, he's gonna get murdered for having that logo up on his avatar there.
Me?
No, LJJ.
Oh.
People absolutely hate that, Jay. You're going to get murdered now.
I know.
Sorry, I cut you off there.
But, yeah, I think he's done very well. I mean, the Lions lost D. Montgomery that game, still found a way to win. Jared Goff was like, hey, fuck it. We don't have a run game. I'm going to throw it for I can hear that in the background. But,
Going to infest it. You know, you need to shop the Japanese websites, KB.
Get a bidet. Sprinkle your asshole with some water. Oscar says, I was saying, he was saying the Albanian national team. Yeah, they look solid, man. And a lot of them are Serie A players too. A good chunk of them, except for Asani. The dude plays in Korea, but somehow knows how to hit 40-yard bangers like it's his day job. Oscar says handball. Yep. David says, I'm way more afraid of the Lions than the Niners or the Cowgirls because we dominate the line of scrimmage and you guys have the best passing game in the NFC, which is our biggest weakness. Our line is, I think it's more so because of our line, but hey, man, Goff showed that, look, I can take a game under control. And like that Tampa Bay defense was no joke. And Goff threw 350 on him for 2 tutties. Like that Tampa Bay defense is a blitz hard defense. And he still was under duress, hit JMO for a 55-yard bomb. Like Goff is dangerous right now. Like he is him.
He is him?
I mean, I'm having a great time. I mean, Albania's doing good. The Lions are doing good. I just need Juve to pick up the slack and do something now at this point.
They're not doing horrible.
Yeah,
it's early. It's early, guys.
It's early, but like without Fagoli and Paul, fuck.
Next guy up.
Next guy up. And his name is Hans Nicolaus.
Yeah, so you never know. You never know. So, man, so today's Tuesday. Game's on Sunday.
I will be here for the watch along. Finally, I will finally have the watch
Hmm.
along. I will probably have the Juve game on one screen, the Lions game on another screen. Sorry, guys, you're playing at the same time. Is this it? Yeah, I know. Sorry, everyone.
Loser.
Hate to do it though. Hate to do it to y'all.
Good thing half the game is going to be a commercial, so you can watch.
I know. I'll just be like this. Fuck yeah, go! Oh shit! I mean, oh no, Milan. Oh,
you're gonna ruin the stream. I'm gonna kick you off.
God damn it, Milan. Oh, Giroud. Giroud, what a save! Oh my god.
Oh boy. Well, I'm hungry. So catch us Saturday for
this
the
is
pregame.
pretty much This is pretty much a show. Like we actually did like a full blown like
2
radio
hours,
show.
Jesus.
It's a 2-hour show.
Right,
Catch
we
Dave
did.
and Dash on Turin Giants 101 the Riz.
The Rez?
The Riz. I don't know, the Riff or
Riff?
97.
You got.
Yeah,
all our cool radio stations are named after animals, like everything in Canada. It's
So
like the
weird.
Wolf, 103, the Wolf.
The awkward radio soundboard in the background. It's like 101 the Wolf.
Yeah, no, that's like
Get
exactly
your
it.
phones at, and then like you have the random ad. Get your shit at Rogers. Welcome to Rogers. Limited time decals. Get 1 gallon of milk for 425 Canadian buckaroonies.
So that's how our radio sounds in Canada, everyone, in case you were wondering.
Hey, it's better than
KB is
the-
on full troll now.
It's
Fuck.
better. It's better than the Michigan ads like on our radio stations. Like
It's probably
because
the
it's like
same
we'll
shit.
we'll do a segment and then it'll be like this where it's like you'll finish your thought and I'll be like, you know what else is crazy? Go over here at American Jewelry and Loan where you can loan stuff. You can loan jewelry faster than Juve can loan players. Where you can get one-shot buys on diamond watches, necklaces, and other bullshit. It's American Jewelry and Loan. Loans faster than Juve. And then boom, then you go into like the blah 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 blah, where you have like your stupid jingle, which I'm pretty sure Fard will probably do it at some point, where it'll be like a cringeworthy jingle for our outros. We'll be like, guys, can you use it?
No.
If you guys haven't
No.
noticed, he's like the dad of the group, and Dave and I just love to razz him for it. We love you, buddy.
I don't even know how old he is, but he's definitely in his 40s.
I think he's older than both of us.
He's definitely. I just noticed too. He's. Could we roast him again? Okay, watch the podcast because I
Watch
only
the
listened to it.
Fiago. Watch the Fiago video, guys. You'll have some fun. We need to sign
Okay,
this shit.
you
off.
gotta let us know. I'm trying to tell him that T-shirts that are just like a block, like a picture printed on a shirt.
We call it the milk carton design.
I call it the memorial T-shirt design.
That is the milk carton. Like the
milk
calls it
carton,
the milk
okay.
carton.
Oh, is that what he calls it? The milk carton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen this child?
Yeah. That's pretty much what Sam.
picture
That's what Sam
plastered
said.
on.
It was funny.
Oh man, I missed that then.
He's gonna be pissed. He's gonna be like, "Don't you guys mock me again?" We love you. It's on all good faith. You know, we're trying to have some personality here.
Yeah,
Make it
but you
fun.
can't make T-shirts like that. I'm sorry, man. Well, because Sam tried to tell him last time he did that. I think it's on record now. I was like, you can't.
Did you ever did you upload the one new outro music that we actually have a license to? We finally bought music.
That costs nothing. Fun fact: even though it's free, I couldn't buy it because I'm not American. I even put the VPN on, and then it's like, no, you still have a Canadian credit card. I'm like, but it's free.
No, we don't like your kind here, Dave. No, it's fine, buddy. I'll upload it for you. I got it.
Yeah, it's in the YouTube thing. Anyways, we don't need to bore them with that nonsense. So I don't know when this special logo thing's coming up. We're trying to maybe.
Sure.
I mean, he's in England, right? So
Yeah.
he's sleeping right now. I figured he was watching England beat Italy, but apparently nobody did because the stands were empty even. So
That's funny.
he was probably sleeping. So we'll find out. Maybe it's gonna happen this week. He's gone next week, so it might be a couple weeks from now, guys. We don't know, but for sure the pre-game Saturday, and probably I'm gonna try to hook up with Hamza KF squad for a Saturday morning FC 24 Juve Milan match. So it's gonna be that, and then of course the game on Sunday. Dash. It's not bad, Sam.
It's not a bad
it's
song.
not
We
bad.
own it. We own it. We own the licensing to it. So we're going to like it because we own it. But anyways, thanks for tuning in on this impromptu live. I'll give you some ASMR on your way out.
Ooh, baby.
Remember to like the video, subscribe, make your dog like the video as well. Also share it to your friends. Bring your friends into this clusterfuck of shenanigans that we have here. And remember, watch the fucking Tiago video.
Tiago again.
God damn it, I can't even say it correctly. Watch the Fiago video. If you don't, I will hunt you down. And I will hug you. In the most uncomfortable way possible. Some may say awkward. But on that note,
Yeah, a nice awkward hug once in a
nice
while. I
awkward
enjoyed
hug
that.
with
Yeah.
the back pats and the back rubs.
Yeah. I'm down
So,
for that.
On that
And then
note,
see Oscar afterwards for
The
the
massage.
double price
he will give you
package
the
there.
two-in-one massage
Yes.
where he gives you the super stroker. But anyways, guys, we'll catch you on the next one before I make this even more fucking awkward European goodbyes. Okay, bye. But let me talk to you about for another 30 minutes. All right, guys. See you later.